The movie begins with a girl who was trying to escape something and ran into her house and hide, while the scene cuts to Benny. Benny looked quite upset, as if he was in a big shock. In the morning, Benny's shock was confirmed to us because he was talking to his friend that he was tired of things now and wanted to take a break. He had planned to go to the Karo Valley on a bicycle so that he could spend some time with himself, away from the world. His friend also liked this idea. After a while, we see Benny leaving with some things in his car. After going a little far, he parks his car outside a general store and takes out his bicycle from it. He goes inside the general store and buys some things, and inside the general store we see the same girl whom we saw in horror at the start of the movie. She was looking at Benny in a very strange way at that time. When Benny comes out and takes out his bicycle from his parked car, that girl comes out and starts looking at him again, and Benny leaves for his journey. Benny was cycling very fast towards Crow Valley. On the way, he saw a waterfall, so he stopped to drink water. After resting here for some time, he started his journey again, and after covering a long distance, he had to stop at Agdam because one of his bicycle tires was flat. He was just checking his bicycle when a car came from Agdam at full speed from behind and hit him. This car was the same one we had seen outside the general store, and the girl who got out of it was the same one who was at the general store. The girl was scared to death like Benny when she fainted. She first listened to his heartbeat, and when she was sure that Benny was alive, they put him in their car and took him away. After going far enough, they see a cabin that is far from the population, in a deserted area. When she knocked on the house, no one was listening to her. She looked out the window and tried to look from everywhere. When she was sure that no one was inside at that time, she broke the window herself and went inside the house. There was a lot of dust on everything in the house, which clearly showed that the people living here had not been here for a long time and might not come back yet. Now the scene is shown some time later when Benny regains consciousness inside his cabin. His arm and head were badly injured, and he was having so much pain in his head that he was not able to stand up. He did not even remember what happened to him the last time and how he reached here. When he regains consciousness, the girl who caused Benny's accident also comes close to him. After talking for a while, he realizes that Benny does not remember anything about the accident. That is why she herself is not telling the truth. When I ask her how I got here, she lies that I found you unconscious on the way and I picked you up and brought you to my uncle's penthouse near here. I tell her that you should have called an ambulance. Look how badly my arm is injured. So on hearing this, the girl refuses and says that at this time we are inside Crow Valley and there is no service in Crow Valley for a long time. Benny was in a lot of pain. So Benny asked the girl to help him, although the girl was not a doctor either. But after listening to Benny's words, she pulled Benny's hand and his bones, after which she bandaged Benny and came to the kitchen. She was scared. Strange voices were buzzing in her mind, and suddenly the whole scene went into a flashback, where we got to see that this girl is fighting with her mother. As soon as she goes to the window, she sees a scary entry on the other side of the window, seeing which she is even more scared. Well, the scenes come back to the present and this girl starts cooking. Meanwhile, Benny comes here and asks this girl her name for the first time. This girl tells her name Greta. He was shy of Greta because Greta was doing a lot for him. But Greta said it's okay. It's all my duty. She also serves him food at this time. After eating, Benny tells Greta that he needs to go to the hospital, to which Greta replies that the hospital is far away and I don't even have my own car. I even took help from someone to bring you here. These people keep talking and suddenly Greta starts remembering her past again. We're shown in flashbacks that Greta is very depressed because she is suffering from depression. She doesn't even take her depression medication and she always feels like someone is following her. A ghost is behind her. The voices of the same entity were also echoing in Greta's mind all the time. Tonight too, when she was using the phone, her mother came to her and scolded her because she had seen all of Greta's medications that she had dropped, but Greta ignores them too, saying that she is taking her medication every day. Well, the scenes return to the present and we still see Greta surrounded by the same voices that have been bothering her in the past. At this time, these voices seemed clear to us, and these voices were inciting her to kill Benny. Because of these voices, she also picks up a knife from the kitchen and goes to Benny's room and is about to kill him when she suddenly regains consciousness. She had already reached her room, but those voices were still following her. Leaving panic, she quickly comes to her room, but now the voices have become even louder due to her disobedience. Greta was shocked by those voices. She quickly hides her mouth in the toilet and screams loudly and tries to make these voices stop, but these voices were not stopping. As dawn breaks, we see that Benny has gone out to help himself. He hoped that either he would find a nearby clinic from where he could get his treatment or he would get a lift. He got stuck while walking, but neither he found the clinic nor the lift. He had stopped to take a breath by the tree when he saw a car in the forest. He looked closer and saw that it was indeed a car, about which he went to Firan and told Greta. Greta also sees this car. However, we know that this car belongs to Greta, but in front of Ben, he is such a courtesy as if he doesn't know about this car. He also saw this car for the first time. But now Benna also suspected from his actions that Greta is a jute sack from him and this car belongs to Greta. Greta was also suspecting that I had begun to suspect her. So they immediately go home. Benna also starts looking for the car key in the house to clear his suspicion, and he also finds the car key in the drawer of Greta's room. Greta, who had come to the forest this time to control the voices in her mind, saw Benna again walking towards the carriage. He did not understand why Benna was going there. When she quickly came back home, she saw that her entire room was scattered and the place where she kept the car key was also missing. His anger had increased even more. Voices were telling him to do something wrong. She takes out the best ball pat from the cupboard and follows Benna. Greta was now behind Ben before Ben drove away. Greta tells him to get away from the car. Benna doesn't understand his drumming. He starts to say something to Greta, when Greta swings a baseball bat and hits him hard and knocks him unconscious. She now takes the folded Benna back into the house, spreading a sheet on the kitchen floor. She sits Benna on a chair and ties him tightly with tape. When Benna regained consciousness, he was shocked that such a girl could do this to him. At this time, Greta was possessed by a ghost. She does not listen to Benna's words and threatens him by raising a hammer that tell her your real name or else I will break your hand. He reveals his real name is David, and when she hears the name David, the voices in Greta's head become even louder. Those voices had now driven Greta crazy and she suddenly hit David's hand with a hammer, injuring him badly. When she barks loudly, the voices in Greta's mind also stop and Greta also regains consciousness. When he regains consciousness, he realizes that he has done it very wrong. After this, Greta goes to David and shows him a picture of Greta with her sister, and now David remembers that Greta is the sister of the girl who was killed by David in an accident 8 years ago. Seeing the truth in front of him, David also goes home badly. David was now making excuses. He says that it was not my fault in that accident. It was your sister who came before me, and when I got down to help her, she was dead. So Greta says, Jute is Jute. She was alive when you saw her. I was calling you for help, and you did not help him out of fear, and left him there to die alone. Here, David tries to convince her that I believe I checked her. She was dying. Greta then tells him that you were drunk that day. You didn't remember anything. All of a sudden, the same voices in Greta's mind that were telling her to kill DeWitt start playing again. She kept blaming DeWitt for every problem in her life. And now she was going to break his head with a hammer. Before she kills DeWitt, she hears a truck coming from outside that is heading towards their house. Actually, he was the owner of this house. And Avia goes out and calls him. And when Key asks the man who you are, so she pretends to be me and says that I was passing through here. When I had an accident, I had to take refuge here. Now she stops this man from going inside and asks that you will give me a lift to some distance. The man does not respond to Greta's words, and seeing the blood on his clothes, he knows that something is definitely going on inside. So he spends the night indoors while keeping Greta on sight. Before she heads to the kitchen, she picks up the baseball bat lying on the floor and swings it another round, knocking the old man unconscious as well. At this stage, the blood was flowing profusely. He had hit too hard. Seeing so much blood, when he regained consciousness, He felt once again that he had done something very wrong. He also tried to stop the bleeding, but it was no use now. Greta had damaged his brain and bled to death. Greta breaks down completely. She leaves this man here and goes to a room and starts crying, seeing her sister's back. Here, David, who was locked in the kitchen for a long time, also gets a chance to escape due to Greta's absence. He sees a knife lying on the floor in the kitchen. To pick it up, he drops himself on the floor and tries to open his hands with the knife. After trying for a long time, as soon as he opens one of his hands, he immediately frees his mouth, the other hand, and his legs as well, and quickly takes the car key lying on the counter and tries to escape from here. He wanted to start the car and run away from here, but perhaps his luck was bad because the car's engine was no longer working. Meanwhile, Olivia also heard some noises. She silently saw that David was not there, so she came towards the car to catch David, because she knew that David would run away with the car. David also quickly gets out of the car and hides when he hears the sound of fleeing in the woods. Here, Greta was desperately looking for David to kill him, but David was hiding under a tree this time. Greta passed by him even then, but he didn't even suspect it. Here, in a very simple shock, David remembers what he did a few years ago. A man from Crowley, when he was passing by drunk, he had an accident with Greta's bicycle rider. He also went out to help her but saw that Greta's sister had passed out. Her nubs were moving. She was alive, but David didn't have the courage to help this girl. To escape from the police, he again sat in his car and fled from here. He was still very ashamed of what he said to her. He was sorry for what he had done, but for now he did not want to lose his life because of all these things. When he realizes that Greta has gone away from there, he comes out from under Darth. David remembered that the homeowner who came here came in a truck. He plans to take her truck and run away from here, and as soon as he comes home and tries to find the keys, Greta comes in front of David with the keys of the same owner's truck hanging on the knife. But he slipped that he would. Darren took the car key, but as soon as he stops, Greta from Firen tries to attack him with a knife, dropping the keys to the side. Both Greta and David fall down. Greta was totally trying to convince David and David to save himself. In the midst of all this, David takes Greta completely under his control. The one who wanted to take the knife from his hand, and Greta force was pointing the full knife towards his stomach. In this Dakimpeli, that knife gets stuck in Greta's stomach and Greta herself dies there. David quickly picks up the car keys and runs towards Firen's truck. He was about to leave here with the truck, but suddenly he realized that Greta might still be alive. He did not want to repeat the previous pocket. He did not want to let such an innocent person die anymore. So he came back to help Greta. As soon as he got back into the house, he checked the nubs. Greta was still alive. He dragged Greta to the car, laying her on a cloth. David wanted to get him to the hospital as soon as possible. The journey was over. It was then that Greta regained consciousness. As soon as she regained consciousness, Greta took the knife out of her stomach and blood flowed there. To stop the bleeding, David stopped the car from Foreign and helped to stop Greta's bleeding. But there was no use now. Greta also died here due to bleeding. Tane Kemper learns that Greta was unable to avenge her sister. The voices that were ringing in his ears, the entity that he saw was the ghost of his sister, and the same ghost was forcing him to believe that it was David. And as Greta dies, this ghost appears to the defeated David at the end of the story. And just showing this story ends here.